Someone is secretly crying over you right now, and here's the heartbreaking reason why. Open it now. Archangel Michael says a heavy silence has wrapped itself around someone's world tonight. They are sitting alone, their shoulders trembling, not because of the cold, but because of what they are holding inside. Their heart is pounding, each beat echoing the truth they have been hiding from you for far too long. It began hours ago when something triggered a memory so deep that it felt like a wound reopening. They saw something, a word, a place, maybe even a face, that made them remember you in a way they could no longer suppress. It was like a storm cloud suddenly breaking over their soul, and all the emotions they had buried came rushing back. They tried to distract themselves, to push it down, but the harder they fought it, the heavier the ache became. Every thought of you made their throat tighten, their eyes burn, until the tears began to fall uncontrollably. Now they can't stop, because what they feel is not just sadness, it's a mix of regret, longing, and something that has been eating them from the inside out. Archangel Michael says there's a reason this moment is happening right now. It's not random. There's a divine alignment at work, pulling their emotions to the surface because the truth they've avoided is about to come to light. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They're crying because they lost you in a way that still doesn't feel real to them. Not just physically, though your absence is like an empty chair at their table, but emotionally, spiritually, deeply. They keep replaying moments they should have acted differently, words they should have spoken, and choices they wish they could erase. The guilt is crushing them tonight. It's making their chest feel heavy, like they're carrying a stone inside their ribs. They are realizing that what they thought could be ignored has now grown into something unmanageable. Even the smallest things, your name on a piece of paper, a faint scent in the air, a song you once loved, are breaking them down. Their tears are not only for the past but for the future they now fear will never happen. And it's killing them to think you may never know how much they still care. This isn't the kind of crying that ends with a sigh and sleep. This is the kind that drains the soul, leaves the eyes raw, and keeps a person awake until dawn. It's the kind of crying that is fueled by love, loss, and a fear that they have lost their last chance with you forever. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says there is more to this pain than just separation. Someone around them has reminded them of you, not in a kind way, but in a way that stung like an accusation. It made them realize that others can see the emptiness they try so hard to hide. They've been masking their feelings, pretending to be fine, smiling in public, and laughing at the right moments. But inside, they've been slowly falling apart, building a dam inside their heart to keep the flood from spilling over. Tonight, that dam shattered, and now the flood won't stop. Every sob they let out is tangled with your name. Every tear feels like a confession they were too afraid to make when they still had the chance. And now, all they have are echoes of what could have been. They are scared you will never hear the truth. They are terrified you have already moved on and that their pain no longer matters to you. But they can't control this, because love, even when it's hidden, has a way of forcing itself into the light. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They are remembering the last time they saw you. The details are still so vivid, the way you stood, the way your eyes looked, the tone of your voice. It's almost haunting, like a scene they keep replaying in slow motion. They wish they could freeze that moment and rewrite everything that happened next. They wish they had chosen you instead of pride, instead of fear, instead of the path that led them here. But wishes feel cruel right now because they can't undo the damage they caused. They are crying because they have realized something no one wants to admit, that sometimes, you don't get another chance. That sometimes, the person you love is gone before you understand how deep the love truly runs. And that realization is more painful than anything else they have faced. Archangel Michael says your name is sitting in their heart like an ember, burning, refusing to fade. No matter how far they run, no matter how much they try to hide, the feeling pulls them back to you. It's a force they can't fight anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They are looking at old messages now. Some are short, some are long, but all of them carry your voice in their memory. And it's that voice, the warmth of it, the way it once made them feel safe, that is making their chest ache. They wonder if you would even pick up the phone if they called. They wonder if your heart has closed to them completely. And they fear the answer is yes. The night feels endless to them. Every tick of the clock is another reminder of how much time they've wasted, how much they've lost. They want to say everything, but they are drowning in the fear of rejection. Archangel Michael says this is not just their burden, it's a turning point. What they do next could determine whether this pain becomes a story of reconciliation or one of permanent loss. And heaven is watching closely. They close their eyes, but the memories don't fade, they sharpen. The sound of your laughter feels like it's echoing in the empty room. They can almost hear you calling their name, and that illusion is both beautiful and unbearable. They press their palms into their face, trying to stop the flood of emotions, but it's too late. Every breath is heavy with thoughts of what they could have done differently. The truth is clawing its way to the surface, they never stopped loving you. Archangel Michael says they have been running from this truth for too long. And now, it's chasing them down, forcing them to confront every lie they told themselves. They told others they were fine, that they had moved on, but inside, they never did. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The room feels smaller tonight. The shadows feel closer, almost like the weight of their regret is physically pressing against the walls. And in the stillness, they realize they have been punishing themselves all along. They remember the last argument, every word, every pause, every moment of silence that cut deeper than shouting ever could. They thought there would always be time to fix it later, but later never came. Now the word forever feels like a sentence instead of a promise. They keep glancing at their phone, as if somehow you'll feel their pain and reach out first. They imagine your voice on the other end, soft but guarded. But then they remember, they're the reason you built those walls in the first place. Archangel Michael says the heaviness you feel right now is not just your own, it's a spiritual pull. The connection between you is still alive, and that's why this moment feels so intense. It's because, on some level, you can sense each other's emotions even from a distance. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They're replaying the little things, the small acts of kindness you showed, the way you always seem to understand their moods without words. They took those moments for granted, assuming you'd always be there. Now those memories feel like treasures locked behind a door they no longer have the key to. A part of them wants to run to you right now, to close the distance before it's too late. But another part fears that the door has already closed. That you've learned to live without them, and that you might not want to look back. Tears keep falling, but they're not just for you, they're for the person they used to be when they were with you. They miss the way you made them want to be better, to dream bigger, to love harder. Without you, they've lost more than a relationship, they've lost a part of themselves. Archangel Michael says this kind of grief is a sign of unfinished destiny. The story is not over, even if it feels like the last chapter has been written. Heaven can still turn the page, but only if action is taken now. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They are clutching something of yours right now. Maybe it's a gift you gave them, a photo, or something so small no one else would think it mattered. But to them, it's everything, it's the last tangible link to you. The sight of it makes their chest tighten until it's hard to breathe. Every fiber of their being is screaming to undo the past, but the past doesn't bargain. And so they cry harder, because this feels like love trapped inside a prison. They wonder if you've cried over them too. They wonder if your pillow has felt the same kind of tears theirs has tonight. And the thought that you might have felt this same pain only makes their own hurt worse. Archangel Michael says time is moving, but this moment is a crossroads. If they let fear win, the silence will grow too loud for either of you to cross. If they act, the tide could change before the night is over. The air feels heavy around them, almost as if the room itself knows their sorrow. They keep pacing back and forth, unable to sit still, because every time they stop moving, the memories grow louder. It's not just missing you, it's knowing they pushed away the one person who truly understood them. They look toward the window, the city lights blurred through their tears. In the reflection, they barely recognize themselves anymore. Once, they were confident and sure, now, they're a shadow of who they used to be. Archangel Michael says the reason they can't escape this feeling is because it's tied to something spiritual. This isn't just a random night of emotions, it's a divine stirring, a moment where the truth is being demanded from their heart. Heaven is pressing them to face what they've ignored for too long. Type Amen to get blessing 111. They remember your smile, the real one, the one that wasn't for the world but just for them. That smile could calm their storms, silence their fears, and make them feel like they belonged somewhere. Now, they fear they may never see it again. The weight of their choices crashes over them in waves. They traded something priceless for something meaningless, and only now are they understanding the cost. No amount of distraction or denial can erase what they've lost. They pick up their phone again, scrolling through your old photos. Each one feels like a story, a frozen moment of what once was. The more they look, the more they realize that nothing in their life since has ever compared. Archangel Michael says the bond between you is not gone, it's only buried under layers of fear and silence. If they can find the courage to speak, it could breathe life back into what you once shared. But the longer they wait, the harder it will be to bridge the gap. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The night outside is quiet, but inside their heart there's a storm raging. Every thunderous beat of their chest is shouting your name. It's almost unbearable, and yet they can't seem to let it go. They think about the last words they said to you. They weren't enough. No goodbye could have carried the weight of everything left unsaid. And so they cry, not because you're gone, but because they never truly told you how much you meant. They cry because they know that even if you did know, they didn't show it enough. Love unspoken is a heavy burden, and tonight it's crushing them. Archangel Michael says there is still a path forward, but it requires humility. It requires breaking the pride that has kept them silent. And that choice will determine whether this pain turns into healing or permanent regret. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They sit on the floor now, their back against the wall, knees pulled close. The tears have slowed, but the ache is still sharp, deep, and constant. It's the kind of pain that doesn't just fade with time, it lingers until it's faced. They can hear the echo of your voice in their memory, calling them to be brave. Even now, it's as if you're whispering that it's not too late. But they don't know if that's hope or just the part of them that can't let you go. They picture what it would feel like to see you again. Would you smile? Would you turn away? The uncertainty terrifies them, but the thought of never trying terrifies them more. Archangel Michael says your spirits are still connected for a reason. Every pull they feel toward you is not an accident, it's a sign. And tonight may be the moment that decides if those tears turn into reunion or farewell. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The clock ticks in the background, each sound echoing in their mind like a countdown. They know that every second they hesitate is another second lost. But still, their hands shake too much to type the words they've been holding back. They think about the places you used to go together. Even now, they avoid them, because being there without you feels wrong, like walking into a story with half the pages missing. Yet sometimes they find themselves driving past those places just to feel close to you again. Archangel Michael says this longing is not weakness, it's a sign of the truth they've been afraid to speak. They are being reminded of you because the connection is meant to be faced, not buried. And the more they resist it, the heavier their spirit will feel. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They wipe their tears, but new ones come before the old ones have even dried. It's an endless cycle tonight, pain, regret, longing, repeat. And deep down, they know why, you were the only person who saw the real them. When they were with you, they didn't have to pretend. They didn't have to hide their fears or wear a mask to impress the world. You gave them a place where they could simply be. Now, without you, they feel like an actor trapped in a role they never wanted. The world sees the performance, but inside, they're still mourning the loss of the one person who knew their lines by heart. And that loss is too big to ignore any longer. Archangel Michael says the tears they cry tonight are planting seeds for change. This is a spiritual breaking point, a chance to rewrite the ending before it's too late. But only if they choose courage over silence. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They open a drawer and find something you once left behind. It's small, maybe even ordinary to anyone else, but to them, it's priceless. Holding it feels like holding a piece of you. The flood of memories that follows is almost too much to bear. Every laugh, every late-night conversation, every unspoken promise comes rushing back. It's like the universe is replaying your story in their mind, scene by scene. They whisper your name into the empty air, half hoping the sound will carry to you somehow. They imagine you feeling it, a faint pull at your heart, a quiet reminder that you are missed. Whether you do or not, they can't stop saying it. Archangel Michael says they are not crying in vain. Heaven hears every tear, and the energy of love is never wasted. Somewhere, even if you don't realize it yet, you are feeling the ripple of what they feel now. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They wonder if you're awake right now, thinking about them the way they're thinking about you. They wonder if your chest feels heavy too, if your thoughts keep circling back to the same, what-if, questions. And if it does, maybe that's proof that you're both still tied to the same thread. They pick up a pen and start writing, not knowing if they'll ever send the words. It's easier to pour the truth onto paper than to speak it out loud. But with every sentence, the paper becomes wetter with their tears. This letter isn't polished, it's raw, messy, honest. It's the kind of truth that can't be faked, because it comes from a place deeper than pride. And it's the first time they've admitted everything, even to themselves. Archangel Michael says that even if this letter never reaches your hands, it's an important step. It's proof that they are finally facing what they've avoided for so long. But the choice to actually deliver it could change everything. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They set the pen down and stare at the page. The words blur through their tears, but they can still feel the weight of every line. It's not just ink, it's pieces of their hearts spilled out for you to see. For a moment, they think about crumpling it up. Fear creeps in, whispering that maybe it's too late, maybe you won't care. But something stronger inside them says this truth needs to exist, even if it never reaches your hands. Archangel Michael says that what's happening tonight is not random. This is a divine push, a moment of awakening for a soul that has been running for far too long. The crying is not just sadness, it's a cleansing of everything they've carried in silence. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They think about your voice, how it could calm them when nothing else could. Even now, the memory of it makes their breathing slow, their chest loosen just a little. It's like hearing home in the middle of chaos. But then they remember the last time you spoke to them. They remember the tension in your tone, the disappointment hidden under your words. That memory stings, cutting through them sharper than anything else. They wish they could go back to that exact moment. They wish they could swallow the words they said in anger and replace them with the truth they really meant. But the past offers no second takes. Archangel Michael says they are crying tonight because they have finally stopped lying to themselves. Every tear is a confession they couldn't speak out loud. And the truth is, they never stopped needing you. Type Amen to get blessing 111. They're sitting in the dark now, phone in hand, thumb hovering over your contact. It would be so easy to press call. But easy doesn't always mean safe, and their heart is already fragile tonight. Instead, they scroll through your photos again, memorizing every detail of your face. They trace the curve of your smile on the screen with their fingertip. It's a silent act, but to them, it feels like touching a memory. They close their eyes, and for a second, they imagine you standing in front of them. They imagine reaching out, pulling you close, and finally saying everything they've been holding inside. That fantasy feels so real, it almost hurts to open their eyes again. Archangel Michael says the bond is alive because love of this depth does not die, it waits. It waits in silence, in dreams, in the quiet hours when the world is asleep. And tonight, it's closer to the surface than it's been in a long time. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They lean their head back against the wall, staring up at the ceiling. The tears have slowed, but the ache remains, deep and steady like an unhealed wound. They're not sure if it will ever go away without you. In the stillness, they realize something: this isn't just about regret. It's about knowing they had something rare, something precious, and letting it slip through their fingers. That's a pain no one forgets. They press the letter they wrote against their chest. Maybe they'll send it tomorrow. Maybe they'll find the courage to tell you in person. Archangel Michael says this is the moment that will decide the future. If they step forward, the story could still be rewritten. If they stay silent, they may be crying over you for the rest of their life. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The letter is still in their hands, warm now from being held so tightly. It's almost as if they're afraid to put it down, like letting go of it means letting go of you. They stare at it, whispering your name into the empty room. They imagine you finding it one day, opening it slowly, reading each word in silence. They imagine your eyes softening, maybe even tearing up, as you finally see the truth they could never speak before. That thought alone makes their heart race. Archangel Michael says this is a test of courage. The moment you've both been unknowingly moving toward has been building for longer than you realize. And now, the choice rests in their hands. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The crying has taken its toll, eyes swollen, throat raw, body heavy. But there's a strange relief in it too, like they've been holding their breath for months and finally exhaled. Tears can be weakness, but tonight they feel like the first step toward freedom. They think back to the happiest day they shared with you. They remember the colors, the smells, the sound of your laughter. Every detail is carved into their memory like it happened yesterday. It's almost painful to remember because they know they can't walk back into that day. But at the same time, it's comforting, proof that once, they did know true joy, and it was with you. That's why they can't stop wanting it back. Archangel Michael says love like this doesn't vanish, it transforms. And if it's meant to be, it will find its way again, no matter the obstacles. But the window to act does not stay open forever. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The room is quiet again, but their thoughts are loud. Every plan they had for tomorrow now seems irrelevant compared to what they feel tonight. They know that if they don't act soon, this pain will only grow heavier. They stand up slowly, walk to the desk, and place the letter inside an envelope. The sound of the paper sliding in feels final, like a door closing on the fear that's kept them silent. They write your name on the front, each letter trembling but certain. For a moment, they just stare at it, heart pounding. It's more than an envelope, it's a key. And whether it unlocks forgiveness or heartbreak, they know it has to be delivered. Archangel Michael says the act of preparing it has already shifted something in their spirit. The weight is still there, but it's lighter now, as if the universe is rewarding their courage. And somewhere, even if you can't explain it, you might already be feeling that shift too. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They place the envelope beside their phone and sit back down. Their eyes are tired, but their heart feels strangely awake. It's as if the crying has burned away everything but the truth. They know they won't sleep much tonight. Their mind will keep replaying the moments, imagining your reaction. But instead of fear, there's a growing sense of hope. Because maybe, just maybe, this is the night everything begins to change. Maybe the tears were never about breaking down, but about breaking open. And maybe tomorrow, when the sun rises, they'll finally step into the moment they've been avoiding for so long. Archangel Michael says the energy between you is already shifting. The choice they made tonight will ripple forward, touching you in ways you can't yet see. And when the time is right, the truth will reach you. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The envelope sits on the table like it's alive. It feels like it's watching them, reminding them that there's no going back now. Every time their eyes meet it, their heart gives a sharp, nervous thump. They walk to the window and look out into the night. The street is empty, quiet, washed in the pale glow of the street lamps. It's strange, everything outside looks so still, but inside them, there's a storm that refuses to calm. Archangel Michael says this is the moment the soul shifts from pain to decision. The crying, the regret, the longing, they've all been leading to this single point in time. And what happens next will be remembered for the rest of their life. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They close their eyes and imagine your face again. Not just in memory, but as if you were standing right in front of them now. The way your eyes would soften, the slight curve of your lips when you almost smile, it's vivid, almost real. They imagine handing you the envelope. They see your fingers brush against theirs, and even in that imagined moment, it sends a shiver through them. They hear themselves saying, "I'm sorry," not as a plea, but as a truth. The thought makes them tear up again, but this time it's different. These aren't tears of despair, they're tears of release. The pain is still there, but it's no longer caged. Archangel Michael says that when love is genuine, even broken pieces can be made whole again. But it requires movement, faith, and the willingness to face what hurt the most. And tonight, they are closer to that step than they have ever been. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They sit back down and pick up the envelope one more time. The weight of it in their hands feels heavier than paper, it's carrying months, maybe years, of silence. It's carrying all the "I miss you"s they never said, all the "I'm sorry"s they kept inside. The night has a strange stillness now, like the air is waiting. They take a deep breath and press the envelope against their chest. Their heartbeat is loud in their ears, steady but strong. They whisper your name once more, softer than before, almost like a prayer. They don't know if you can hear it, but they hope that somewhere, you feel it. Because it carries every tear, every regret, every ounce of love they've been hiding. Archangel Michael says that when dawn comes, this moment will mark a new beginning. It may not erase the past, but it will open the door to something neither of you expected. And sometimes, that's all love really needs, a door left open. Type Amen to get blessing 111.